Hi, I'm Ken Barkey.
I'm Miranda Barkey.
We're here today to talk to you about the Feast of First Fruits and what God is promising to do for us as we continue on in our Christian journey. I grew up in the church. I was saved when I was 5 years old. Very thankful for the prayers of my grandmother and my mom and my aunt.
Um, no church background. Ken was the one that led me to being a Christian. He took myself and there are the oldest two girls, which are mine, but now they are ours. And he took us to church, and I was nervous to attend church, and from there on, it was all lots of prayers, and Ken led me there. This year's been very tough for myself. Christmas of last year, we found out I have breast cancer, and it was a total lean on the Lord itself and look for what He can promise us. The surgeries that we went through, it's hard, but a lot of my strength comes from support of family, friends, my work, church, and all upon the Lord itself that helped us through this. Promise, I looked up the definition, actually a declaration or assurance that one will do. So we know He's there for us, He promises us. What do you have to add to that? You had a verse.
In Deuteronomy 31:6, God said, I will never leave you or forsake you. And so we lean on that, knowing that God isn't going to leave us. And even in the difficult times, God has been so good to us and our family.
Helped us every step of the way to get through everything that we need to get through and move on to the next step of my journey. More surgeries coming up, and just continue and know He'll see us all through it. There's times that, when Ken can't be there with me or I'm at home by myself, things that I need to do. One, I always read every morning. Stop, take a moment. He is there. Everything that I need to hear for the day, I usually find in my verse and know that He's right there for me.
Throughout the whole process of, as we initially went to the cancer doctor, at that point we didn't know it was cancer yet. And so just to hear the surgeon say, your wife has cancer, was like, oh, now this just got real. And so we just began praying. Well, we'd really been praying prior to that, but particularly from that time on, just praying continually that the Lord would see us through, and regardless of the outcome, that we would just understand that God was in control. And certainly there were times that weren't easy.
That's true.
But God has been so faithful to us, and throughout the course of all of the cancer treatments and chemo and radiation and even following that, we've just felt so much support from, like Miranda said, from the church, from her coworkers, from my boss and coworker, and we're just thankful for the prayers and generosity of so many people that have helped us, encouraged us in the journey.
There's always another day. The promise is, He'll be there. He'll be there every step of the way. We just have to lean on Him and trust Him, and He'll be there to help us. If they find more, I know they always say, hey, they got it. They cut the cancer out. We're good. Move on. But the fear is there. Will they find more? Will it grow more? Did they get every cancer cell? That fear is always there in my head, and that's something I battle with. Will they find more in this next surgery? Did it travel? Those are things that I think of, and it's hard not to have that fear, but you have to remember that He will be there. He will provide. He will get me through it. So just always wake up and tell myself, it's another day. It's a new day. Start off. restart and not try to think of, hey, I've had cancer, and get through it. It's a hard one to say. What more can you add to help me out here?
And it's just the next part of our faith walk, you know, where we have to continue. So do we pray when everything's wonderful? Probably don't pray the same as when, you know, your wife's facing another surgery and the concerns and worries that she has, and then trying to encourage our children who obviously are nervous and a little worried for mom. And so that's a huge thing as we just even think about our prayer life and how I need to pray continually for, you know, God to guide the surgeon's hands and that everything will go well. As a young Christian, that's one of the misconceptions I had, is that I'm a believer, and so my problems will go away, and God didn't say that.
No.
He just said, I'll be there with you throughout whatever comes. And it's so hard because cancer, you know, it obviously has affected Miranda, but it's also affected other loved ones and friends that we've had over the years.
Yeah.
And cancer has impacted pretty much every person you come in contact with nowadays.
Yes, and you know, it's curable and we're good, but you always have that. You tell your girls, it's okay, anything happens, I'm okay. I'm a believer. I know where I'm going, and this was my path, and this is what God had for me. So I look towards that and tell them, if it happens and cancer does spread, if it does take my life, it's okay. I've had a good life, and this is the time that God had for me, and this is what His plan was. But if it's cured, I'm good. I'm good. Look what I can do to help someone else.
Yep.
So you gotta find the positive in everything negative. So look towards a positive. My one true goal is to lean on the Lord more and look towards the future and what He has to offer our family and offer even myself. You ask why me? He knows. It's for me to figure out. So I walk every day and figure out what He has for me next.
And God has blessed our family so much. I mean, over the years, that God's going to continue to bless us, and even in the challenges, God has blessed us, and we're just so thankful for how He's provided and protected our family. And you know, it's just amazing how He's looked after us, even in those times where we haven't been faithful. You know,
He'll be faithful for us.
Yeah.